Oh, hi everyone. Um, I'm very calm and quiet right now because, as you can see, we have a special guest for the Merry Christmas show. It is Mary the cat. Now, she will stay here as long as I am calm and don't turn into the normal screaming nutballs that I normally am. So, we now have this is. I've been trying to get her on this show for since she first made her debut and showed her ass. So, I'm going to um, just sit here calmly and quietly. And this is entertainment, watching a man with his cat. So, greetings, unshunned. Happy holidays to you all. With Mrs. Comic and I just wish all of you the best of everything. We're so grateful to have you, and yes, we do appreciate the loot that you give us over the entire year. Unshunned dollars sometimes buy cat food for sexy pants. Don't they, sexy pants? Yes. So we have that going on right now. Um, I'm trying to figure out how much I want to scream now. I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. It's all Christmas stuff. We are Mrs. Comic and I. She sends her howdy doos and thank yous as well. Um, we hit the Christmas crazy part where you go, and you think we're good, we're all right, we're fine, we're in good shape. And we're like, oh fuck, that's tomorrow. Even though it's not tomorrow, but it kind of feels like that. So there's crazy amounts of stuff to do right now. Well, let's see. The other thing is, if I can flick to this, we have that's the lodger Caesar, and so we have a two-tier system right now in this house. So that makes everything really exciting. Um, Caesar will not be joining the Christmas stream this year. Perhaps next year. Richter in with Christmas gift. Mwah, big kiss to Richter there. So that's kind of fun stuff. I for this live stream, actually, what I was gonna do, it's not all that entertaining. I was gonna share with you folks some of our fine stuff. I dropped in, I think, the YouTube link, if you can find it, our Christmas playlist, which I make us listen to, like, it's the same 20 songs like all the time, and the solid piece of gold, uh the German song Holtz. It's about a snowman. I love it. I can't get enough of it. We discovered this accidentally a few years back, and it is my probably my favorite Christmas song right now. So I really love that way too much. And then Mary's deciding that she's going to leave the live stream. I'm holding her hostage there. She goes, thanks for making an appearance there, Sexy Pants. That's one of her nicknames. So here we go. I will be using notes. Um, we have a lot of the Christmas classics. Everybody watches them. We have everybody has ones that they love and ones that they don't love. Oh, this is my Bite Me sweatshirt that I talked about in the last stream. It took a couple of years to get this on account of we kept forgetting to bring the gifts to the gift exchange. Wahoo! Which is part of our Christmas tradition. Every Christmas Eve, we go to my brother-in-law, my sister, my wife's sister, amazing people. Um, and that's been by tradition. It was her mother's house, and we have Chinese food, and it's a lot of fun. And the one of the fun things is Jack, my brother-in-law, is a plumber. He's hard of hearing. There's the most amazing story that I cannot tell you about, because we all go to church, and he doesn't understand. He knows that he's hard of hearing, but he doesn't understand that when he says stuff really loud, everyone can hear it. And there's an amazing story of Mrs. Comic is hoping that I won't tell you. I'll just tell you the part of it. And the family's still talking about it. Last year, he's such a character. He tells me, as before anything starts, he says, "Look at the minister." And I looked at the minister, and then I looked at him, and he goes, "No, I want you to look at the minister. Look at him where you're looking." Yes, I'm looking at him. Now keep looking at him. I got to tell you, who does he look like? I'm like, I don't know. Then I got hell because I looked away. He says, now look back at the minister. Look, 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 look. And tell me who he looks like. I don't know. Would you please tell me who he looks like so I can stop looking at him? And that's the part of the story where I have to stop uh, right now, because it really wouldn't be in the spirit of Christmas to say that he he said he looks like Hitler. That would just be wrong. And the thing is, he kind of sort of did look like Hitler, and it just occurred to me now that I told the story, and I shouldn't have. And Richter's just going. Richter, are you drunk? Are you lighting this up? This
Kevin Keller did the next
Kevin.
second one.
My eyes are old. There's Kevin Keller and Richter. See, that's how my brain works.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Keller, Richter coming in there. That's bourbon bucks right there. That's fantastic. Um, I don't know how long this show will go, but I'll get back to some of the fun traditions. Another fun tradition is this. My Mrs. Comics portion of the family is just absolutely incredible. This is a Christmas letter. I don't know who still does them. This is the Christmas letter by which all Christmas letters would be judged. We get it every year. I wish I had all. I have a bunch of them. If it wasn't personal, if it wasn't family, they would be worthy of a reading. They are the most incredible. Uh, it's an adventure of the year. It's. I don't even know how they're related to you, Mrs. Comic. Doesn't
My cousin and her husband.
it's Mrs. Comic's cousin and her husband, Margaret and Chuck, and we run into them at church about once a year, and that's it. But this letter contains the most phenomenal stuff. It's the ups and downs of the year, and there's no segues whatsoever. You guys are
Roger White.
Roger White. You guys are killing me with kindness here tonight. Mrs. Comic and I are so appreciative. But this Christmas letter, they go from we went and did a lot of antiquing this year to Margaret rolled down a hill. And there's no segues, and that's the fun of it. It just flips back and forth. And we actually have a reading amongst ourselves. Um, and when this thing shows up, I got to send the text around. It's here, the letter's here. So we love that. That's a fantastic thing. We very much look forward to that. Um, Maybe someday I'll talk to Margaret and see if I can get her to sign off on the release permission slip. Another thing, Mrs. Comic, and I like to do is uh, we do the mouse thing that moves over in the days, and then this turns into a little fucking horror show rat because it gets closer, and we're not really ready for this fucker to move. So that's one of our fun traditions. Another one of our fun traditions is behind, over my shoulder here. This is Monk. And Monk is a gift that our daughter and I gave Mrs. Comic a few years back. There's a show called Family Tree, and there's a lady on there who's so funny. She's a brilliant British comedian, and her backstory is she was traumatized as a kid for who knows what reason, and they gave her a monkey puppet to negotiate life, and she keeps it through adult. And Monk curses like a motherfucker. So right now, Monk would say, "Take this fucking Christmas suit off me here, you motherfucker." So we have a lot of fun with Monk over here. And then Monk got a buddy, he doesn't want to. I don't even know why we have this. We have the bad attitude elf who didn't want to be a dentist. So these are fun stuff. Monk is part of our Christmas tradition, and he doesn't really like getting dressed up. He gets really pissed off. Plus, also, I lost him for a while. I get fucking hell from Monk when I lost Monk. So the point of all this babbling is that we really have a lot of fun over the holidays, and there's things that we connect to all the time. We do the 1, 2, 3 synchronized watch with our daughter sometimes, which right now, before I forget, she got us to watch things we wouldn't normally watch because you got to look at them because they're really stupid. Uh, there was a challenge to find the other night. She said, "We're looking for the worst premise rom com Christmas movie you can find." And boy, it was hard to whittle it down. It was kind of really just an incredible thing. What we wound up with was The Christmas Village, 2018. Um, and they all have the same thing. Somebody who would normally have a good Christmas isn't going to have one because somebody's dead or they left them, and then someone comes in to save the day, and they might not have Christmas spirit, but they understand what's going on, and it's just such terrible writing, and so ridiculous. And then there's some that we discover from that we like particular shows, and then we want to find out one of our assholes from a show is in a Christmas movie, we gotta see it. So one that we love to watch, and this would be for fans of Buffy the Vampire Slayer classic TV show. There's a character, one of Buffy's boyfriends was Riley, and Riley is in one of the best, worst Christmas movies if you've ever seen. Some of them are one-hit wonders. We watch them and that's it. And then, but this one is one that we will, excuse me, make sure that we watch every year, and it is called A Christmas Present. And spoilers, Riley is in the army and he's on call, but he somehow can just walk around this Christmas village. And so we always say that, that's a running joke around here. Things are crazy, uh, but if you need anything, I'm on call. I don't know who the hell would call him up in a Christmas village, but that's a lot of good, stupid fun. We love that. That's worth a watch. And I was tracking through some things here today. I'm actually like to have things that I know that I want to talk about. I don't know if this is really entertainment, but this is for our unshunned, and you guys are friends and family. You've been in our living room for however long, so you're actually getting kind of sort of invited into our life. This is all personal shit. Uh, I, we like Christmas episodes of certain shows. The Big Bang Theory Christmas episodes are phenomenal. The Office Christmas episodes are phenomenal. Also, um, there's one excellent X Files Christmas episode. I a, a smarter man would have had all this shit ready, but you peckerheads, you know how to Google. Oddly enough, the forensic criminal show Bones, and you forgot about that, Mrs.
Yeah.
Comic forgot about. She's all happy over there. There's two ass-kicking Christmas episodes. I don't know the season. They're easy to Google, or you could just put it on my fan page or ask us at Patreon. I'd be happy to do the googling for you. Uh, One is they're all stuck in where they work. It's this forensic criminal lab. Christmas Eve, and they get all fucked up. They get all bourbon bald, fuck you in a bucket of goo, and they release some horrible gas, and they get stuck overnight, and they are given some serious drugs to make it through the night so they don't die, and they have a 50-50 chance of having a hallucinogenic mushroom trip from the side effects, and half of them went over the cuckoo's nest and half of them didn't, and of course the people who wanted to go didn't get to go, so that's a lot of fun. And then the other fantastic Bones Christmas episode, there's a mall Santa or street Santas. They have to investigate a murder going on there, and they figured out they have to go around and smell all the Santa Claus's asses. This is the kind of shit that we really enjoy. I said, I hope you enjoy them too. We're sniffing Santas. I don't really know what it's called. And here's another one that we really love. Kurt Russell, Christmas Chronicles. He's kind of like a reluctant Santa Claus, and the the a kid. There's always a kid who buddies up with Santa Claus. He's trying to get him to say ho 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 the whole movie, and he throws out one ho ho no, and I think that's pretty. It's really that's a fun watch. Christmas Chronicles, Kurt Russell. So we have that stuff that we look forward to watching. Find the worst premise. You should play that. That's a lot of fun. Also, if you like this show, Gavin and Stacey, that Christmas episode is absolutely phenomenal, and that's pretty great. And Mrs. Comic also. Shout out to Mrs. Comic. This is life changing. Uh, on the YouTube, she put in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and they have it from the olden days with the commercials from however many fucking millions of years ago.
The 80s.
The 80s, and then that is millions of years ago, the 80s. And then there's some new commercials spliced in there, but there's some phenomenal shit in there. Mrs. Comic and I have a shared passion for, which we didn't even know, the Santa Claus, the Norelco shaver Santa Claus commercial where they just used the Norelco shavers as a sled. That's fantastic. And they have it all right now. They put so many old commercials in here that they do a thumbnail for Rudolph, and then they say Rudolph will continue after some more of these old, really fucking awesome commercials. Check that out. It's really a lot of fun. Uh, Deep, Dark, and Disturbed, a crunk and drunk festival is Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. That's phenomenal shit. Um, the more I watch these movies too, the more I get really pissed off at how terrible the people are. Oh my god. Uh, I absolutely love. We love Jingle All the Way. Arnold Schwarzenegger. People just call it Turbo Man doll. The neighbor Ted is real slutty, and that's kind of funny writing because he's a real toady motherfucker, and so the fact that he thinks he could get Arnold Schwarzenegger's beautiful wife is just fucking comedy right there. And also, he winds up being Turbo Man, and nobody recognizes him because he has a clear plastic thing over his face, and he talks stupid. That's another fun thing about that movie. He has his thick Arnold accent, and they named the kid Jamie, which he can't say, so it's Chamey, 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 Chamey. So I don't know why you would name a kid by a name that you wouldn't be able to pronounce. That's kind of fucking stupid. And he's made out to be the bad guy in that film. The bad guy, as I say, women are smarter than men. That's why I don't like the writing of that film. Is he's really a fuck up, and his wife tasks him with the most important task of the Christmas season is buying Turbo Manda. You don't put the dumbest motherfucker in charge of getting the most important gift. So not her fault in the film. That's bad writing. I have bug up my ass because of the writer's strike. Um, I don't like bad writing, and if you're watching a movie and it's really bad writing, that's a lot of fun. But some of these storyline flaws are just absolutely too ridiculous. Just bad writing. It's bad writing to task Arnold Schwarzenegger, the fuck up of the film, with the number one thing. Somehow he saves the day, and then I do get off the railroad tracks because in that film also he his sidekick winds up being Sinbad, the comedian who's a failed disgruntled postal worker. My fun there is that Sinbad, I told the story before, but was performing down Symphony Hall, and they wandered up to the comedy club that I was in, and his opening act took my spot, and that fucking pissed me off because it was just starting out. 15 minutes of stage time was solid gold, and he was mediocre. He was all right, and I'm just he could have been really funny. I don't know, but I was fucking bitter. And then Sinbad snuck in covertly and stood in the back of the room while he wanted to see his opening act perform. And then I was hanging out in the back, and I knew who he was, but I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction. So I was fucking mad. And he's there. He was trying to be like cool and hang out with this big motherfucker too. I had some brass balls dicking with a large black man. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. It's a miracle that I'm here. That's a Christmas miracle that yeah, Sinbad didn't beat the fuck out of me. He fucking towered over me. Like his belt was at the top of my hat there. He was a big motherfucker. And he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm not so good. Some big shot asshole, Sinbad, the sailor, come up here and took my stage time. I never fucking heard of him. He's up there. Oh, we have Amish Comic can't be on tonight. Sinbad. And then I was ready to start laughing, so I had to kind of just fucking walk away from him. So that's how I see movies and shit. That's kind of fun stuff there. Uh, Old Christmas classic movie warning. Holiday Inn, Bing Crosby. Don't you watch it. Our daughter watched it and she gets to the point where, all right, this sucks. It's horrible, but I'm in too deep and I gotta go through with it. Which brings me to a side rant that I hope the trolls in my idea hallway help me get back into the show afterwards. Is that I get so fucking mad with these old movies casting a 50, 60-year-old man and with a 22-year-old wife, and somehow she's the dick and she does everything wrong and he's going to leave her anymore. This uh, Holiday Inn, classic example. Two assholes are fighting over one woman, and the woman never gets to pick in these old movies. That's the dumbest fucking thing. That would be easily solved. They spent the whole movie. This asshole wants to beat up this asshole or outwit or trick who the fuck knows what, but they never actually ask the person who could settle it. They never say which one of us do you want or no one. Back to the Rudolph of the old commercials. There's a football soap commercial, football player soap commercial, I never heard of the player Burt Jones. There's a Burt Jones commercial. And that's funny because old quarterbacks, I heard of them. Joe Namath with the stockings on and all that shit. Burt Jones commercials on there. So be careful when you watch old movies. Sometimes you feel like you have to like them because those are the rules. Um, so there's that. And if I start howling about all the shit that's wrong with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that's going to take fucking 9 hours to do that. So we don't know if we're going to do that or not. Uh, that it just occurred to me. I wish I was better prepared. It just occurred to me that this is actually the last live stream before Christmas. So if there's anything you peckers, I mean, a nice we want to talk about, I'm still ranting and raving here. I am not out of trouble yet. Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger also, jingle all the way, or chingle all the way, as he says it. He has a duel with cop in the show all the time, and they think he's doing drunk driving, so he makes him say the alphabet. Then it's Arnold, so it's like A, B, C, and then they do one of those things. Sometime has passed, and he gets to the end, and then he goes, now backwards. Now, why I think that's funny is I've done a lot of shows for police organizations and state police, undercover. So I get to talk to cops now and again, and the subject of trying to get out of speeding tickets and the drunk driving thing is something I've talked about with them, and I actually complained to a group of them however many years ago. There, you know, saying the alphabet backwards is really a kind of a dick move because who the fuck can say the alphabet backwards, like off the fucking top of their head? Plus, you're nervous, even if you're not drunk. The cop's shaking you down. So, and they would start laughing and go, that's the point. Because the proper response is a complaint that I can't possibly do the alphabet backwards. And so I suggested, well, if that ever happens, I would just do this. I can do it. I can do it backwards, but if I can write it down, or if you could write, if you have a notepad and you could write it down, and I'll track through this thing, and again, they were really off from A B C D E F G A, and I sang it, and I got to Z. Okay, Z is the first one that's last from the back. Now start that, and I got to start over. A B C D E F G H I K K L M N P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. Then I get confused because it's Y and Z. The and fucks me up. So the Z, and if you want to include the and, we'll say and. But what you didn't ask me to sing it, so get rid of the and just put the Y in there, and that goes up. And they were laughing, and they said that's actually the point, that people should complain a little bit politely that it's an impossible task. And then I asked them if anybody knew how to do it. That seems like it would be suspicious to me, because if you could do it, that means you took the time to learn the alphabet backwards in anticipation of being a drunk driver, so you get the fuck out of it. That would be a red flag to me if you fucking knew how to do that. That's a wasted skill. That's probably something I hope you'll never have to go through. Let's see here. I'm always trying to do projects, and I see some of these stories and shit on TV. I made some notes. I'm gonna I'm gonna write these fucking stories one of these days. I've just made some notes for a story about what does Santa Claus do the whole fucking year, because you don't really hear about him in July, and I figured it out that he probably spends the whole year in therapy. That's what would be my guess, and he complains that people suck more every year, and so coal, the ability to the necessity to bring and deliver coal goes up and up, and coal is really heavy, and a reindeer don't like to pull coal. It's also combustible, and it could be spontaneous combustion. And if Rudolph's red nose, if he gets all worked up about something and it sparks a thing, you could fucking light up the whole coal thing. And although Santa Claus's suit is probably has the anti-flame retardant shit on it for going down the fireplace, the actual sleigh with the gifts and the reindeer is probably gonna fucking burst into flames. So Santa Claus is having a rough fucking time with all this shit. Plus, he also starts to complain because he realizes that people don't actually believe that he has 5 million billion fucking gifts in one red sack, because even the Teletubbies aren't that advanced, and so, but he has to play along with that and keep that whole fucking thing going. Um, so who knows if I'll ever get that thing written, but so that's what's going on. We are freaked out. We got a lot of stuff to do yet. Um, this as much as we love doing this, we should be wrapping. Mrs. Comic and I should be wrapping gifts right now, but that's not going to happen right now. No fucking way. Well, at least not tonight. And I usually do like to have a crunk and drunk after the live stream, so you could probably wrap presents while you're partying. That would be a dumb thing. I can't wrap gifts.
If Mary lets you.
Yes, if Mary lets me. So Mary on my lap. She has claimed me in protest of our lodger upstairs, Caesar. So the two cats battle for my attention, and then again there's Bearcat outside. Bearcat will never have a home, and Bearcat loves us, but it's actually getting lazy because it stays outside and it looks in the window, in the kitchen window, and when it sees me, it still waits, and then it has to figure out that I saw it, and then it can move away and go to the back door in anticipation of being served. Now it doesn't even need me to see it. It'll just see that I'm there. I've seen it, and it didn't know I was seeing it. Just if it sees me, it goes, fuck it. I don't have to wait till he sees me. I'm fucking going. So Bearcat's taking a shortcut, and who could blame it? I mean, it's a cat that lives outside. I'd probably take some shortcuts too. So that's all the shit that's going on there. Let's see here. I got some more notes here.
Victor said, tell us about Mennonites.
Tell us about Mennonite.
And then he said, laughing my ass off.
That's one of the dumbest fucking jokes there are. What does it take to make an Amish woman happy? Just two Mennonites. And Richter, I had workshopped this piece of comedy for years and years, and nobody ever gets it, because I used to do a thing in my show. People think the Amish and the Mennonites are the same. No way. That's like sharks and jets. Of course, I'm talking about West Side Story, but people don't really know that's what that is, and that's like turf wars and gang wars and all that shit. So that got shit bagged right there. And some of this stuff too now fires me back to Bearman and Keith morning show. There was always Christmas stories to tell. Santa Raymond, 12 Days of Christmas. Whenever I hear that sung, I'm always reminded of Bearman going, you got to keep it moving, because the song's like fucking 19 hours long if you do the whole to the 12 and come back down. So the pace had to keep the pace up going. So that was always fun to do the Santa Raymond stuff. Let's see, I got sidetracked here. But I go into like different Christmas stories and all that stuff. I had always some pointers for how, if you have kids, it's really an art form to keep Santa going in their lives. And the key, here's how parents fuck up. See, the kid can't get the same wrapping paper that you and I have. Like, Santa Claus is not going to present a gift with paper you fucking got at Walmart. So you got to think about that shit. Then you have to keep separate paper and hide it so nobody sees it. And also, nobody else can get a fucking. You can't use that. You got to buy a roll of wrapping paper just for fucking gifts from Santa, and that's it. And you can use it over the years, but you got to fucking remember what it is, because that's just fucking stupid. Now, I have always made sure that our daughter got something halfway nice from Santa, but not the best thing. No fucking way. No fucking way am I going to let a fat man in a red suit with bad attitude take all the fucking credit while I'm saying fuck you in a bucket of goo and all across the fire halls of Pennsylvania and give some fucking credit to some asshole who doesn't pay for nothing. Fuck that shit. So I did that. Was pissing and moaning about that for quite a few years. It's an art form. Plus, also, you need to remember what Santa Claus gave the kid in July, because the kid will remember. And that's the old joke from my show, too. It's like, kids riding around, and not. I can't even use our kids for example because they were really nice. So I have to pretend that our kids were monsters. I didn't work my ass off to buy you that bicycle so you could smash it in the sidewalk and leave it out in the rain. I didn't get it from you, man. I got this from Santa Claus. You got to remember that shit because the kids will remember. So there's that stuff there too. Little tips to get you through the day here. And there was always a hot toy. There was always a hot toy pre-internet. There was the Cabbage Patch doll phase, um, and without internet, you'd have to just kind of like go to stores. You couldn't even call stores up because they're department stores. So the peckerhead who answers the phone isn't in toys, and it's not like they had somebody back there in toys that was going to answer the fucking phone. They would patch you through, but nobody would ever fucking answer. So you just have to fucking go. And they mostly had Lane Co stores, and a lot of people. I don't know if you went through this, but pre stand up comedy, I had a screen printing job, a part time job. I was just starting comedy. I didn't have any fucking money at all. And so Christmas shopping might happen at the last minute. Like whenever you got your Christmas bonus right before Christmas, boom, you'd hit the fucking toy stores and you would be out on tour with a lot of people who shop that way and live that way. And you would all go to the Lane Co. at midnight, Christmas Eve or the night before Christmas Eve, and look for the designer Barbie of the season, and they didn't have it, then you would go all drunk and race to the next Lane Co. over in Dorneyville, and this went on. That's how we fucking shopped. That's how we did it. I don't know how the kids even fucking got anything ever with that system. And then, of course, I'm waxing philosophically here. I probably told you this last year, but our last week, but I like some stuff from my show, which makes me a dick. But I was liked in my show when I talked about that is that I've spent too many years trying to find an Amish Barbie. I'm kind of getting sick of buying a Barbie Ken doll and cutting the hairs off the dog's ass and gluing them on to make it so. I'm kind of. Did you see how that's kind of like stupid? And then there was also another thing where I we all it's point click and send now, but it used to get it's kind of like Turbo Man doll when you think about it. There could be like the Barbie, like Super Bowl Barbie, and only like one left, and you'd get there, and it'd be like another somebody there, and there was that kind of tension, like in the Seinfeld episodes, that rain blows down upon his head, and that's where they created Festivus. So we have to celebrate Festivus too whenever that comes up. But that was the joke. You peckerheads can do anything to me you want, but do not fuck with me in the Barbie aisle over the holidays. I do not miss running around the world to try to find that toy. That's why I'm definitely enjoying the internet and point, click, and send. And the big disappointment is if it will not arrive by Christmas. Oh, fuck me in the bugger. So there's that fun stuff. Let's see here. Bibbity bobbity boo. We got the coal burning there. We got this. You really got to make sure you see Kurt Russell's Christmas Chronicles, though. That's the one you got to make sure that you see. Let's see here. Do not see Holiday Inn. We got that. I make notes all the time, and not just in this notebook, but wherever. And then when I need them, where the fuck are they? I don't even know where they are. I can't get rid of this fucking cough. I feel good now, Richter. I hope you're feeling better. Richter was sick. And then it's the dumb thing is people are going around, and when sick happens, our daughter was sick a little bit, and then we were hanging out with her for her birthday. Somehow we didn't get it. This cough is not that sick. So knock on wood, boom, boom, boom. But that's the other thing. We have so much fucking shit to do. And then you get sick, pow. Then it's like, it almost seems not fair. So all that stuff is going on here. Um, I've kind of we're not ready for Christmas because we have a lot to do, but I think we're in a good place. We actually have gifts for people, which I'm still getting used to. It's actually been a really good year. One fire hall dicked me over twice in September and December, but that's my fault. That set us back a teeny tiny little bit, and it only reduced the quality of the family gifts that they would be getting by a teeny tiny little bit. So we're in good shape there. Um, let's see here. Bibbity bobbity boo. Um, oh, I know. There's another. I can't remember the name of it. We didn't see it. It's the Bad Premise Christmas movies because we were all voting, and I wanted to see something that had ice in the title, and it was ice sculpture Christmas or something like that. And just the trailer was amazing because they were trying to make it real sexual, but it was all about carving ice. And I never seen ice this hard before, and that's all this shit. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, man. That's a fucking Christmas movie. Now, why I seem really rude here and distracted is I am because last week an eBay auction was ending during my live stream, but this week it's not that. I'm just about this close to leveling up to 41 on Pokemon Go, and I have to get XP. And with every creature that I catch, my XP gets a teeny tiny little bit closer. And I actually don't want to do it now because if I would level up during the live stream, I would be so excited. And Mrs. Comic would be so excited that nobody else would be that excited. It would be kind of like anticlimactic. So uh, I'm sure maybe I'll go live later on to report that I leveled up. Probably not. Richter settled down. So that's all that's going on here. We discovered our daughter discovered actually what the market that's down
World Market.
World Market down 309 past Quakertown, about an hour away from here, Montgomeryville area. World Market is absolutely incredible. It's expensive, but they have all really cool shit. They get candy from all around the world. They get furniture. They have uh, it's trinkets. It's really, if you're trying to get something for people that's a teeny little bit different or special, make the trek down to World Market, um, and you don't have to tell them Amish Comics sent you because they don't have a fucking clue who I am. But that would be funny though. You could say it and then give them a bag of shit and say, "Hey, Amish Comics sent me." They're like, "Oh, we mean what? You can't go fucking what? Amish Comic fucking sent us, you motherfuckers." Uh, that's probably not a good way to Christmas shop anyway. So never mind that. Um, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Where's all my notes? I'm very excited. Day after Christmas, annual Boxing Day show at Sellersville Theater is really selling nice. And they are always closed on that day. So whatever I can bring to that theater is bonus for us and for them. Theater holds like 300, and when the smoke all clears, we usually, because that's day after Christmas, but the theater's about like half full, like 150 people. We are uh, right around 170 people right now, 168. I get the ticket reports. I'm really excited. It's actually really fun to get a little money after you fucking spend all your money. Well, we got this at the World Market right here, this cute little house here. Uh, Mrs. Comic and I were decorating. Actually, Mrs. Comic was decorating like a wild lunatic. We've got some lights around here and some stuff. Oh, this thing made us nuts. Let me go back to this. We keep this thing in a special box in a cabinet in the other room forever. But we decided because last year we had trouble finding it, we put it in one of those places that was really special and safe, so we wouldn't lose it. And we couldn't fucking find it. We looked for hour all day. We knew we took care of it. We just didn't know how we took care of it. And then because of our lodger upstairs, Caesar's up there, there's tubs, two tubs stacked, and there's a tray of like his treats and all that shit, which he likes to go up on and look at. That's part of the training process. So This was in the tub that was under the box of the cat food, and it was Mrs. Comic labeled it, but I put the box over the label, so I moved shit around, and it said all the Christmas stockings and all the shit. So that was in there. That was traumatic. It was well marked. Um, but so we were losing our fucking minds about that, and we decided not to put up a Christmas tree this year. So we're having fun decorating. Don't be sad. Couple of reasons. The Christmas tree place in town that we used to get, $30 tree, cut it down yourself, or whatever. They were tired. They're done. We totally, like I said, we have some money to live and have a fun life, but we don't have the $80 to spend on a fucking Christmas tree that's going to be here. So, but we don't know how much. Put, I'm double talking. I'm a lazy ass, and I didn't feel like going through all the fucking work of putting up a fucking Christmas tree, and then we'd be mostly not here over Christmas anyway.
And if we bring Caesar down.
Yeah, and we bring our lodger down. The last thing he needs is anything that seems like it's fun.
He's a nut.
Like he's really nuts. Oh my god! I'll be a son of a bitch. I should have put some videos in of how he plays. I'll just show you how he plays if I can do it without breaking shit. So he's really a sweetheart. He gets wound up. He's never been feral, but he's no longer a kitten. And as a kitten, I think he was cheated, and nobody really taught him how to play, except possibly other cats. So he goes in spurts, and he'll sleep the whole day or whatever. And then so right now I sleep in fucking 3-hour increments, because what happens is this. For reasons I couldn't tell you, he loves to tunnel. He fucking loves to tunnel under the bed covers, and so the covers, and there's one in particular he likes, and I kind of wrap myself in like a mummy, and this is how I get woken up every fucking morning of my life. You peckerheads know me. I'd sleep till noon if I could. I get up fucking 8 o'clock every morning of my life now, because, and I don't even have to set an alarm, because here's what happens. This would be this. Then his ass goes up in the air. Then he dives over this thing here. Mrs. Comic gave me this. I don't know why.
You can use that for an example.
I can use this for an example. I thought I was a better cat.
You are.
I thought I was. Mrs. Comic thought my performance of Caesar as a cat was so terrible. No. She thought this thing could be it. So that's what he does. And he tunnels under. And then we actually have to sleep with cat toys, because the idea is to get him. If anybody ever raided our house, they'd say, "Oh, a bunch of sick motherfuckers these two are." Those are things to keep Caesar off my ankles and stuff. He's really a sweetheart. He's really come along, but he's fucking nuts. And he does this and does that. This is that. Oh, and he every so often, and you can't blame him. He'll look at my head. We'll be playing, and he'll stop looking at the toy, and he'll look right at the fucking top of my head, like there's a fucking crow up there. And that's scary, because he's learning, and he's a sweetheart, but I don't believe he understands the problems involved with him lunging at the top of my head for a crow that isn't fucking there. So we have that excitement right there. And so the Christmas tree to him would just be, we'd be nuts. We'd be absolutely nuts. And cat people will tell you this. A lot of cat people don't get trees. Our daughter and her partner are not getting a tree because of their cat, but they go fucking crazy. They decorate so majestically that you wouldn't even ever miss a tree. Tree would be overkill in that house. So you can go nuts. Don't guilt yourself out on the tree. The other thing, because I am a lazy ass, I didn't want to spend the money. I never know how long to leave the tree up. You got to leave it up till at least New Year's. We know that. But then after that, it becomes almost like a sad thing. Why do we get it? You know, and it's really fun to decorate the tree. You know, the music's playing, and you have a beautiful wife, and you're drinking a little wine and picking out ornaments and all this and that shit, and then tearing down. It's like, when are we going to take the tree down? And then you got the undoing process is really a fucking nightmare. We had thought about artificial trees. The price of artificial trees is going fucking batshit crazy. It's like hiring a fucking high end escort service. But we were at the Goodwill and used artificial trees were like a fucking $100 at Goodwill. That means in a normal store they're like 200-300 fucking bucks. Fuck that shit. So we have it. It looks nice. I like the look here of the Christmas that we have going on right now. Um, so that's it. I keep thinking that we're gonna snap, or actually that I'm gonna snap and start crying that I don't have a Christmas tree and have to go out and get a fucking Christmas tree. But I'm not gonna pay for one, so then it's gonna be like a Turbo Man doll thing. Or I'm gonna break into the neighbor's house and steal their tree. That's fucking stupid. And then because Mrs. Comic is amazing, but I do a fucking number on her mind. Where the Christmas tree would go, I cleared the space out. But I didn't clear it out to put a tree there. I cleared it out because I wanted this headspace. The room gets a little congested here. It's the other chair. Sometimes I'm over there and there's a Paisley chair and that's where I just got the Paisley chair out of there. So Mrs. Comic started to think he must be having second thoughts about getting a Christmas tree. No, I just want the space. So there's that. So now we have this space that we're enjoying. Um, and we have I can't really relax until Christmas Eve at church of all things. Mrs. Comic's church service is it's really Christmas. They just sing Christmas carols and the candles are lit and they have the bell choir, which is too loud, but that's kind of funny because the bells scare the fuck out of us and I still don't know how they bong 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 and somehow it's a song. That's nice. Then we wind up uh, at the Christmas Eve home where she grew up with the brother-in-law, the plumber, and the Chinese food, and that's a lot of fun. And then you know that's it. But then we come back here, of course, and uh, wrap stuff and unwind and put stuff under the tree and all. But since our daughter's grown up and moved out, we don't even do that anymore. We put stuff in a tub and get it ready to travel. So then Christmas Day is what it is. It's always fun to get gifts. Then the day kind of like, what are we gonna do? And then, but I have to start to think about my Sellersville theater show the next day. It's really a fucking weird thing because I really worry about my shows. Every show is has to be better than my last show. People have seen me a lot, and so I want to make sure they get enough of the all-star material, the fuck you in the bucket of goo, McFucking Donald's and all. But there has to be enough new stuff to make them go, wow, that was really kind of cool and fun. So that's a whole thing to worry about. And I've been flying solo down there for a little while now, and they've been so good to me, but they don't necessarily want to give me the solo show without an opening act. It's a rhythm of how they do things. So I battle with them. They mainly want 90 minutes. You know that I can take 90 minutes to fucking say hello. So that's not even a problem. So we tug of war it every year, and it's an evening with Raymond the Amish comic, and then they always let me do it. And again, I'm very full of myself, but it's theater, and it's $25 ticket. So my fans want to see me. I don't think that's being a cocky asshole. People who buy a ticket to see my show want to see my fucking show. So they don't want to see some asshole that's not as far along in their career as I am for 20 minutes to get things going. I can fucking get things going. That's my whole thing. So that's a very long show and it takes a lot of brain power, and it absolutely really does. But I very much look forward to that, and I've been getting ready for it for a while. It's not like I just think shit up right now. Oh, there's my that's my alarm that says my show's actually long enough now, so I can wrap it up anytime. But that's what's going on here, and then the New Year's Eve show at Emmaus Theater. That's a whole nother ball game, and that will be a hunk of what I do day after Christmas. But the day after Christmas show is a therapy show because it's basically we survived it. I don't know how we survived it. Uh, Over the years, I've tried to market it different ways, like the house would be full with relatives. Here's how you escape them. I just ditch them if they're not fans of me, or if they're not fans of me, you could give them tickets to see me if you don't really like them. If they're fucking assholes, send them. Pretend you didn't know I was a dick. So you say either send them or escape them. All that works. So that's a lot of fun. And the New Year's Eve show at the Emmaus Theater is fun because um, for me it's close. I could technically walk it, but I'm not going to walk it. And it's 7:30 show. Again, just me, 90 minutes. It ends at 9. I'm very excited. It's BYOB, a drink vendor, dicked him over, so it's BYOB. To me, that's a win. You can go out New Year's Eve for live entertainment and it's BYOB. Fuck me, you're gonna save $200 in drinking dollars there. But the fun of that is my show ends at 9-ish, 9:15. You, in theory, you'd be home by 10:30. New Year's Eve, you could actually go to another party, and then it's the tricycle of shows for me at the end and start of every year. Then Friday, January 12th, is Arts Quest over at the casino there at Steel Stacks. That's a lot of fun. It's the first year in quite a few years that I have a Friday night show, so I won't have to compete with the Eagles in the playoffs. And I didn't even want to mention the Eagles because all of a sudden they suck. They lost 3 in a row, and I understand the psychology of sports because I used to be a Giants fan. I only watched when they win, record the game, find out the score, and if they didn't win, I don't watch the game. Fuck it. They won't get, 3 hours off my life. And because the Giants being who they are, I haven't really watched the game in like fucking 3, 4 years. But the Giants have done it too. And the Eagles have done it this year. They were good, they were good, they were good, they were good, they were good. Then they get a loss, and then they go, it's not a problem. It just happens. We let our guard down. Then they get a second loss in a row, and everybody says we suck. Do we really suck? And then their mind starts to get fucked up, and they go, "No, we don't suck because if we sucked, we would lose 3 games in a row, and we only lost 2 games in a row, and then they just lost third game in a row now. So then they go, I actually think we do suck, and so you fucking spin yourself into. I don't really know how you get out of. I believe sports teams should have team therapists because that's fucking in your head. That is in your fucking head. That I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna fucking lose. Then guess what? You will lose because your mind is that powerful. So if you can flip that the other way, you can use that in your life, and it's easier said than done. But Mrs. Comic and I, we're a good support team. We try to do that for each other because if you're going to spin in the mud and assume the worst, you should have an alternate universe where you can spin in the mud and assume the best. Because if it don't fucking matter, but you probably get a lot farther with the good attitude. So if you say you're gonna lose, 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 you're probably gonna lose, lose, lose. It doesn't promise that you're gonna win, win, win if you say win, 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 but it doesn't fucking hurt, right? It doesn't fucking hurt. So that's my words without wisdom here. I don't know what else to talk about here. Let's see here. Oh, back to this. See, now this is another thing. When we do Christmas tags, there's always a gift from Rudolph. I don't know why. And Mrs. Comic's mother started it. And then there's also a gift from Ho Ho Ho. That's super spy code for ho. So have fun with your name tags, with your gift tags and all that shit. Try to make them personal, or not. I don't want to boss you around. You do what you folks do whatever the hell you want that makes you happy. That's what I'll say right there. Um, that's pretty much all the excitement for this week. I thought my show would be funnier than it is, but I always think that. And this show isn't actually supposed to be that funny. This is more like we're hanging out. our telling stories, and the other thing that I want to touch base here with you is if you're out in the world and you're shopping and everybody's tense, keep your good cheer up because when somebody's being a dick to you in the store and maybe they don't have the thing, maybe it's not their fault, maybe they don't have enough help. People have to work over the fucking holidays, and that fucking sucks. That sucks batshit balls. It's just brutal. If you have to work over the holidays, I'm sorry about that, and I hope you can figure out when to have your holidays. I'm just asking you all to have patience with people out in the world, even if you put mustard on my fucking cheeseburger, even though I'm vegetarian now. So have a little patience, especially when you're driving and pay fucking attention driving because distracted driving is at its maximum right now. Um, I think now that's officially it. Um, Oh, here's one. If he's watching now, it'll be ruined. Well, I don't think he's watching. My son-in-law Al doesn't read as much as us, and he doesn't read horror. And his wife, Josie, our daughter, she reads horror and all kinds of stuff. So we're trying to get him to read horror. And then my horror author, Grady Hendrix, who wrote How to Sell a Haunted House, he came in second on Goodreads for the most popular horror book of the year. But he tweeted something interesting. He said that even though he came in second, he was happy. Stephen King beat him, so that's bragging rights. So if you're going to get beaten horror, let it be Stephen King. Yeah. But he said the total votes were 295,000, which was less than half of what the next category was, romance and all this stuff. So he wanted to get people to read horror. So I had tweeted onto that I've got my son-in-law a horror book that he doesn't read horror, and I got it themed to a thing he's interested in. He's very interested in Native American culture. And so there's an author, Stephen Graham Jones, who has a Native American background, and he writes horror, but with consideration of Native American people living in a not Native American world. And they're fantastic fucking reads. And I thought this might get him hooked. So I got him. I like to give books hardcover for gifts. So I ordered him a hardcover book, and it showed up paperback. Here's why that's wonderful. A lot of places, especially if you go eBay, when you get a book, if it's the wrong book, they let you fucking keep it because it's a pain in the ass, and they sometimes ship the book from a third location. So that's what happened to me, and I got the money back, and he is going to get the paperback book, and he shall never know that it was supposed to be a hardcover, and they dicked me over and he got it for fucking free, unless he's watching tonight, but I don't think he is. And if he is, uh, he doesn't have any idea what this book is anyway, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal. That's pretty much it. Again, now there's a Woolworth commercial on right now. There's a doll case for $10.99. Check out some of this stuff. Have the best possible holidays you can. Mrs. Comic and I send you all the best. And I don't know when the next days we can stream. I'm coughing. I'm out of sync, but if it's a time when I can stream and it's not a Tuesday, and then it's a good thing to do, I'll do it. But again, I got day after Christmas show that I'm nuts about. I have New Year's Eve show that I'm also nuts about, and Arts Quest show that I will be nuts about, but it's a little too soon to be nuts about that. That I can't really think of anything else to do. You Packerids are so amazing. I'm going to see what else I put in these pictures here. Hang on. Oh, don't forget to check out the Spotify list with the German song Holtz. Oh, here's something. Let's see if it's in there. I don't know if it's in there anymore. Oh, that's Caesar. Never mind. I was going to tell you about the stupid thing I made at my advent calendar, but I think I did that last week. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to sign off. We love you. Happy holidays. Be safe. Don't be a dick. And it's not the amount of money you spend on the gift unless you give cash. And don't be afraid to give cash, because that used to be a thing where people, you can't just fucking give cash. Cash fucking rocks. All right? There you go. It might not have been the most Christmassy special that there ever was, but what are you going to do? So there's that. Um, I'm going to sign off right now. Here we go. Where's this? Be right back would be considered a Christmas lie. Mrs. Comic also wishes he's a happy holiday. And we'll click right on here. Stream ending. Happy holidays, folks.